Shalom, my hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Vicki Show. I'm typically here Monday through Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm so glad that you have joined us. Shout out to those of you that are watching us live. Shout out to those of you that are watching us on one of our affiliate networks or channels. We're so pleased that you've joined us. And as you come in, family, we want to ask that you do a little bit of housekeeping, observe a little bit of housekeeping before I get into the details of our war briefing today. And to be clear, I am summoning Representative, she's known, by for short as AOC. And Miss AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We want to discuss her today because she just recently made some shocking comments about reparations, but you may have missed it when she said it. But it's not just the comments that she said about reparations, the comment that she said about Black people. And I want to connect that to some news that we learned today with one of Joe Biden's picks. So we're going to talk about that briefly. But again, as you come in, please come in, giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. I want you to know that you can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Thank you for being patient as I invite my Instagram family to join us live here in just a moment, beloved. So thank you for giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. And like I just said, text Queens to 31996 so that you can get on our phone list. Thank you so very much. Now, let me say this, beloved, in terms of the Vicki calendar, my 2021 Angels Unleashed calendar. Remember, I told you guys that we were only printing a limited amount, right? And I made it clear that it was a limited edition. Well, some of you took it seriously enough that we sold out. So I just learned from my partners and collaborators that they are going to increase it. So for the next little bit, it provides other folk the opportunity to purchase it. I want to say a great big thank you, but they are flooding it to print several more for you so that other folk can get in, so other folks are able to purchase it as well. So make sure, beloved, that you go to the VickiCalendar.com, the VickiCalendar.com. Y'all were not playing. I'm just amazed. But this calendar, like I said, I put my heart into it. The monthly scriptures and the monthly thoughts that you're going to have to meditate on, I really believe and know, frankly, that it's going to increase the reality of the celestial and angelic energies in your life. And those powers are available to you. And I'll make a little note on the calendar as well, that you are more than you know. And I go further with that. So make sure that you get yours. Hurry today. They're doing this just for you after already setting aside an initial number, the VickiCalendar.com. I understand why it sold out. Thank you so very much for supporting us, but we are increasing it. They're printing out more for those of you all to get them, okay? The VickiCalendar.com. Somebody please put that in the chat. Thank you so much. You know that sometimes I don't know whether or not they allow everybody to put the actual full website. So don't worry about putting the .com or whatever in there. We're going to try to follow the little rules and stuff like that, okay? Shout out to you, Descendant Lair, for your gift. We appreciate you, Queen. I love you back. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Instagram, thank you so much for joining us. Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over now to flynewqueentv.com because I'm going to need to use this device. Shout out to the VHive that's in the digital building. You know, the VHive is a name that you, my partners and digital family have come up with. And I thank you all so much for those of you that are fans or supporters. I don't even like to use the word fans, but supporters. Thank you so very much. So the VHive in the digital building, thank you so much for your love and your support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and tuning in. Now, without further ado, let's get right on in today's topic. I know that some folk will consider the fact that I'm even mentioning her saying this. Shout out to my VHive on Instagram. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. I see y'all tuning in. Walaikum salam to the others that gave me the greetings there in Arabic. But beloved, I want you to know that the fact that I'm even discussing Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the context of statements that she is making that I feel undermine Black reparations in the eyes of the unintelligent or the uninformed. They may automatically assume this to be divisive. Me even talking about it. Me even bringing up these particular issues. I want you to know that your misunderstanding and that your confusion about this topic or my motives or my point is not going to stop me from speaking the truth or being an appropriate watchman on the wall. What do I mean by that? I mean that while many of you are living your day-to-day lives, you don't have the time to be focused on and paying attention to so many of these other things. Why? Because you're working, you're running businesses, you're raising children, you know, you're paying mortgages, you're living your life, you're surviving sicknesses and illnesses. You know, you got a lot on your plate. And moreover, we don't all have the same assignment and purpose in life. Do you understand? So with that being said, I want to address you right now. Shout out to Vicky Dillard fan page on Instagram. I see y'all in the building. I love you all so much. And see, family, I didn't come up or ask anybody to do any of those things. I'm just so honored by your love and support of not only me, but you extend that support to the network. And I thank you so much. Now, let me get back to this. Me being a Black woman, the original woman, you all know I ask you and remind you always about whose planet this is. And let me just ask my intelligent Black people, whose planet is it, family? I said, whose planet is it, family? We just want to get a few things straight. You know, we got to start things off on the right foot. Somebody talk Black to me. Whose planet? That's right. That's right. I see people. It's our planet. We've been kind enough to coexist and to bless and to teach and to lead the way with other people groups. It's been our privilege and our pleasure. In fact, because I'm a mother of civilization, and because, my dear brothers, you're the fathers of civilization, that makes us the mother and father of all people groups. It is not in my nature. I have no track record or history of hating or disrespecting anyone. Somebody talk black to me. As such, the purpose of me having these war briefings, the purpose of me calling these kinds of things out is to properly correct my children. Somebody talk black to me. I'm speaking to you as a nurturing mother. So because I'm your mother and I know what you're made up of, Tommy, don't ask stupid questions in my chat. I'm eating a loxogen because if you've been tuned into the Vicky Show on flynubianqueentv.com, you'll know I've been making it clear that I've been dealing with an illness on top of an autoimmune illness that I have. So this helps with my throat. Intelligent people don't do stuff like that to be a distraction. So I just want to root out any possibility of any other kind of grown-ups. See, when grown-ups do stuff like this, we can't ask questions about what's wrong with the children and the kids. People don't type stuff like that in the chat to be seen. Somebody talk black to me. Now, I love you and thank you so much for following me on Instagram and watching the Vicky Show right now. But I cut out all of the nonsense. I shut it down. It ends up blessing your life when I address certain things later on in other areas that you can see and you can't see. Somebody talk black to me. We're holding court today. By the way, this is the home. The Vicky Show, that is. This is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching us on one of our other platforms, be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe. On the count of 3, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so very much. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, like and share. Also, at the bottom of the screen, you can share the link to the show, copy it, and then you can paste it on your other social media platforms, text, email, or what have you, to let them know that the Vicky Show is on. Thank you so much. So back to my point. I know that me discussing this is going to be considered by some to be divisive. But as I just made mention a few minutes ago, that's not the point of what I'm doing and why. I want to call this out for what it is. And most importantly, I'm discussing this because I want to highlight and warn us of others that seek to, like the white supremacists, continue to pillage us, to continue to be blood suckers, to continue, somebody talk black to me, to take resources from us. And we're looking 500 years, almost 465 years later, and asking ourselves, why is it that black folk specifically are still disproportionately at the bottom of everything? The answer is because we've never been black first, and because we've not demanded it, and we've allowed everybody, every Tom, Dick, Harry, Karen, and let me not get into some of the other names and people groups in front of us. I'm trying to plug up the leak in Black America. Somebody talk black to me. I'm trying to plug up the leak in Black America. Now, do we wait for someone to give us power, or do we take our power? Watch the Vicky Show. People that's new to the class and new to who I am, welcome. I'm so pleased that you're here. But make sure that you go check and catch up to who I am and become familiar with my body of work. Thumbs up, like and share. All right, Instagram, get ready to come on over to flynubianqueentv.com because I need to use this device. Instagram, get ready to come on over now to flynubianqueentv.com. Now listen, I want to remind you of something that AOC, Representative AOC, recently said, not too long ago, I should say. And I want to connect that to some news that came out today concerning Joe Biden's, not Joe Biden, excuse me, California's new pick to replace Kamala Harris. You know I'm going to connect the dots. That's what we do here, beloved. As you keep giving us a thumbs up, liking and sharing. Thank you so very much. Okay, Instagram, come on over, FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com. Now, thank you so much for your patience as I post this. Thank you so very much. While I'm doing that, thank you for continuing to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing again. Go to thevickicalendar.com, thevickicalendar.com, so that you're able to get your 2021 angel calendar. It's absolutely amazing. I told you all that initially the goal was to only print a limited amount, but because we've already reached that number and sold out, the team said they'll make a few more available. So get yours ASAP at thevickicalendar.com. Thank you so very much. I promise you, you won't regret it. All right. Let me get ready to cue this for you. I've posted this now. Thank you so very much for your patience, you liking, you sharing, and you subscribing. So get ready, family. Because some of you may not have known that she said this. Because Black folk, this is the other thing I wanted to say too. Let me read this disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you so very much for that. By the way, the thoughts and opinions that are expressed on this by me are those of my own and not necessarily those of FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com or our affiliate networks and channels where the show may be re-aired. They are my own. Now, listen, would you, to AOC on discussing reparations. Now, most times when we think about other Black media outlets, certainly the griot, what's the other? Compromise, moisturization, condensation, fog, snow, sleet, and hail. Other similar Black organization, The Root. The griot, so don't worry about putting it in their family. The Root, the griot, all these other kind of little print publications that purport to be Black voices. You find, if you pay attention consistently to what they put out, that they have a truly anti-Black liberation agenda in many ways. And certainly they have an anti-heterosexual Black masculine problem. But BET, sometime back, 2019, so it wasn't that long ago, they actually did a piece on this, because that's what I was saying. Some of you may not know, excuse me, that she said this. But BET did cover this, and there was a few others, but I was surprised that BET did, considering some of the raunchy anti-Black stuff that they put up. Well, in this particular publication, this was written by Demetia, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Iman. And it starts by saying whatever reparations could look like in the future. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to read that first. I'm going to let you listen to the clip from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and then I'll read a little bit of that. It'll make more sense, give you a little bit of background. While I'm doing this, family, please, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Don't forget to sign up for clubvicky.com. Clubvicky.com is my weekly.
If you live in a country.
Okay, it's almost ready. Clubvicky.com, as I was saying, is my weekly mastermind class. So every week I conduct an exclusive VIP environment. And I say it's exclusive for just those that are part of the clubvicky.com, obviously, where I drop a spiritual or metaphysical jewel each week and I elaborate on it. And you get to ask me questions during most of our times together. So you want to sign up for that. I think they still have a special one. I'm not sure how much longer this is going to go, but for the first 30 days, you can join for $1. And after that, the fee is very reasonable, very nominal. So you want to go to clubvicky.com, clubvicky.com for that. And don't forget, these kinds of things, joining clubvicky.com, remember, those are gifts and those kinds of things that you can give to other people. Do you understand? Those are gifts and that you can provide for other people if you choose to do so for the holidays. Okay, now let's get into it. Not too long ago, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said this when asked by a Black
If you live in a country that's still 70% white, which is a number that I think shocks a lot of people, but if you include white Hispanics, it actually is that big, who often vote similarly to non-Hispanic whites. You know, what is a political cost, let's say, of saying we're going to throw your hat in with a program like reparations? How much do you think those considerations should be made?
Well, y'all listen, look at the body language and then look at the words, okay? But I hope you remember what the sister asked in the beginning when the sister says that America makes up about 70% of white people, Caucasian people. She says that includes white Hispanics. And she goes so far as to say that they tend to vote for, the Republicans anyway, right? Listen to what she says when she's asked about reparations.
Reparations. How much do you think those considerations should be made?
Well, it's a good question. I think that one of the things that we've seen from early polling actually is that I think that we should distance ourselves and start getting away from this idea that we should only care about ourselves. Because when we really do start to assert and believe and understand and see how our destinies are tied, we kind of get away from this idea that only, people of color care about other people of color and only white people care about other white people and so on.
I'm going to try not to scream, y'all. I'm going to try not to.
There are a lot of systems that we have to dismantle, but also it does get into this interesting area of where we are as a country about identity, because what does it mean to be Black? Who is Black and who isn't, especially as our country becomes more biracial and multiracial. Same thing with being Latino, same thing. It brings up all these questions of passing and, things like that. But I do think it is important that we have to have substantive conversations about race beyond what is racist and what is not. And if someone says something racist, does that make them racist? We need to get away from talking. Well, not that we have to get away from talking about racism. It's important that we talk about racism, but because we talk about racism so much, we actually aren't talking about race itself. And
if y'all don't come get this little girl, if you guys don't hurry up and come get this little girl, Family, I got to be honest with you. When I was listening to it initially, I first was like, you know what? Why do black folks even talk to her funny looking self? This fool is not even invited to nobody's barbecue. I was getting ready, to just give her the Jane Elliott treatment. But then I remembered, okay, like any other white supremacist, she's in Congress. And so these are the people that we're telling y'all getting ready to give us reparations. So that's the only thing that saved her was because she's in Congress. Y'all know how I feel about other people groups dictating stuff to black folk. You guys who follow me and know my work understand and know that there is a standard for outsiders. You cannot even make requests to be with us. When you're typing the email, there's a standard. When you're making the call, there's a standard. You need to be dressed. You need to be shaved, have your hair done, and make sure that you're taking your shower and put on all your little lotion and stuff. You got to make sure you just had your hair done, baby. You got to make sure that your car has been detailed. When you're sending the request for email, knowing full well you're only going to be likely talking to one of my assistants. And it's no guarantee that you'll get a response back in this life or the next. I'm gonna need somebody to talk black to me. But that's the bottom, that's the lowest standard. See, black family, you all have been so excited and happy that people are talking to us, period. You are so excited to be invited to these little fold up plastic tables. That's not even oak or long lasting. The table you talking about is something you throw together for a picnic or a barbecue. And then that's the little table you talking about got dust on it and stuff. And it's something you pull out of the garage or your little storage unit when you need it every now and then. Somebody talk black to me. There's a standard. Being in the presence of blackness, foundational black Americans, we're not like everybody else, baby. You got to come to us correct with divine respect and honor, the law of honor. I've said this before, and this is the case with some of you even. People, and I talk about this a lot, what I call the law of honor. You don't go into some environment that's new and that you're not responsible for being a trailblazer in and want to run stuff and run your mouth and give the middle finger to the people that's responsible for building and making stuff what it is with your new self. You go to environments where you pretend like certain folk don't exist and you want to ignore and jump over those individuals. It's called the law of honor. And some of you are too arrogant to respect it. And then you wonder why in so many other areas of your life, it's in shambles. And the reason you don't do it is because you're projecting your insecurities of jealousy, competition, and envy. Sit your funny looking self down. Then you want to credit yourself for doing and creating and making someone or something. And those are simply delusions. Somebody say delusions. Those are simply delusions. Those are not real. Those are things that you made up in your mind to make you feel like that you are somebody. Somebody talk black to me. Bow down. Some of you don't even like the fact that I'm even saying those words, but it'll do your spirit good and it'll bless the rest of your life. I never impose on certain environments and spaces and places without honoring the trailblazers, without giving credit to those individuals, without showing respect. And knowing full well, you only do what you do because of that individual anyway. Somebody talk black to me. Show respect, the law of honor. You don't lose who you are as an individual god or goddess by showing respect and honor to somebody else. You don't understand how power works. You sitting back in the cut watching me right now, seething at the teeth and trying to nitpick, lie, and find reasons to attack somebody else. Bow down with your funny looking self. Ain't did nothing to want to act like you a master and without showing respect. I never worked on a job. I didn't go to Wendy's when I worked there. I didn't work at a Taco Bell. I didn't go in any space or any place where I did not show respect to management, to my coworkers, and those that were in authority. Funny looking self. Now I done got this, I went on a little rabbit trail with that, but I wanted to throw that out there. I mentioned that, the law of honor, because when you're dealing with immigrants of all sorts coming from around the world, that's the last thing most of you do. You do not honor the foundational Black Americans who built this country, who invented America, and who made it possible. You will have the nerve to study the history of what they call the founding fathers, like your George Washington. You will pay homage to those individuals. You will suck up to our white supremacist adversaries and then turn around and wag your little finger in our face to try to tell us why we haven't leveled up and we're the ones that built the country. And you're only even interested in coming to America to experience what you call the American dream based on our American nightmare. That is being dishonorable. You come to this country, some of you, and you turn on the very people who made it possible for you to even get here. And some of you not only turn, you not only do you do that, you wag your fingers, but some of you work directly and knowingly in cooperation with white folk. Racist white folk, that is. Racist white folk. It's a new day, and we are setting new standards. And I can assure you, we're going to be calling you out even more than ever before. We're setting a new norm. And the reason we're doing it is not because we're hateful. The reason we're doing it is quite the opposite. No other people group has a reputation or history of telling their current and present tormentors, I forgive you, when they maliciously, diabolically, and satanically murdered a family friend or loved ones, and that family or loved one is not even buried in the ground yet. Black people are the only ones. I saw this image going by earlier today. Black folk are the only ones that can say we fought in every single one of America's wars. I said all of America's wars. While we were in chains still, while we were still dealing with the injustices of the Black codes, while we were still dealing with sharecropping injustices, while we were still dealing with convict leasing, while we were still dealing with Jim Crow and all of that, we the only ones that did this right here. Do y'all see that image? Where our Black family intentionally subjected themselves to white folks' torture, disrespect, and bestiality. Do you see what's on top of your aunties and uncles' heads? We're the only ones that have the reputation of going to bat for everybody else and nobody else go to bat for us. In fact, we've done it so long and for so many centuries that the fact that some of us are saying You can hold your own pistachios now. You're going to hold your own stilettos. You're finna hold your own soy sauce, your own tacos. Somebody talk black to me. You getting ready to hold your own. It's a shock to the system. It's a shock to the way things have been. Now that some of us are saying, you got us mixed up. No group, no people has the reputation that we have of showing more love, more sympathy, more outreach. We have literally paid our lives with our black blood to bless everybody but ourselves. And that is an abusive relationship. Any people group that labels us as racist or divisive for making it clear that it ends today, you are an abuser. And we need to start referring to you guys as that. You are foreign abusers. Anybody who even dares utter anything like what I just mentioned a second ago about why we're looking out for ourselves, you are an abuser. And most of you that are doing that is not because you believe we're racist or divisive. It's just that when you're used to being a leech, somebody say a leech, when you're used to being a leech, leeches don't like to be pried away or pried off from sucking the blood of, let's just call it, their particular prey. See, leeches don't want to be separated from your blood vein. That's where they get life. So it's not, family, it's a trick. So when we spend too much time explaining, well, I'm not racist or I'm not divisive. See, when we spend, watch this, disproportionate amount of time, because y'all know they love to tell us how everything we deal with is disproportionate. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. On the count of three, for those of you that are just coming in, my name is Vicky Diller. So glad that you have joined us. Please slam that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'm here daily, live on flytobeingqueentv.com, giving you your war briefing. So on the count of three, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that everybody that's watching us has subscribed to the network and that you hit receive all notifications. Would you? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. By the way, family, I believe we're looking for new Fly Nubians who can conduct, I believe, panels. They're looking for, bona fide Fly Nubian queens who can participate and conduct panels, I believe. So reach out to our producer at flynubianmedia.com. That's producer at flynubianmedia.com, okay? Thumbs up, like, and share. Now, I want us to go back to listen again to those comments that AOC made. And then I'm going to stop as we go this time. I wanted to at least let you listen to it the first time through and through so that you could get the context. Now let's listen to it for a second time.
If you live in a country that's still 70% white, which is a number that I think shocks a lot of people, but if you include white Hispanics, it actually is that big. Who often vote similarly to non-Hispanic whites. What as a political cost, let's say, of saying we're going to throw your hat in with a program like reparations, how much do you think those considerations should be made?
Well,
now, did you all listen to the question? The sister was talking about a program that she called the reparations, a program, and the types of considerations. So that's what makes AOC's response all the more shocking when you think about the question.
Of saying we're going to throw your hat in with a program like reparations. How much do you think those considerations should be made?
So if the sister is saying how much the consideration should be made based on what she called a program that's reparations, AOC's response is shocking. The reason AOC's response is shocking is because AOC is offended. Like another Latina that was offended recently. And I had to give her this work and expose her own jealousy and envy against Black women. Somebody talk Black to me.
Well, you know, it's a good question. I think that one of the things that we've seen from early polling actually is that I think that we should distance ourselves and start getting away from this idea that we should only care about ourselves. Because when we really do start to assert and believe and understand and see how our destinies are tied, we kind of get away from this idea that only, you know, people of color care about other people of color.
Now, first of all, let me stop you right there. Now, if I in a formal court, honey, whether they tell you to take the stand or you can rise to speak to the judge, let me tell your funny looking self something. This court, I'm telling you, AOC, sit your funny looking self down. I ain't asking no questions of the witness. This court you in today, baby, is dictating how things are going to be. Somebody talk Black to me. So with your funny looking self, first of all up in your feelings because the sister is asking you about reparations, the first thing you said was about us caring for just ourselves.
Assert and believe and understand in ourselves and start getting away from this polling actually is that I think that we should distance ourselves and start getting away from this idea that we should only care about ourselves.
AOC, the reason you're saying that like you're saying it is because your ancestors and your people got here because we cared about y'all more than we cared about ourselves. Y'all sitting up here saying we need to get away. First she said polling shows about getting away from caring about yourself. What Black person in the entire history of the United States, what foundational Black American, those individuals that are responsible for building this country, making this country, creating this country, when have we ever cared about ourselves? We were brought here and we were used to intentionally care for other people. What are you talking about with your funny looking self? I'm saying this as a caring, loving mother of civilization. Because all people groups come from us. What is AOC talking about? People not just caring for themselves. Our history in America shows we have never cared for just ourselves. Our history in America shows we've had nothing but an abusive relationship with the white supremacists and some of you with your funny looking selves. In fact, that's a hallmark and a trademark of a slave. And now the trick is, instead of using some of that same abusive language, direct language of slavery, y'all start to say, try to make people feel guilty, saying you're just thinking about yourselves. As if our situation and motive would be the same if somebody white or some other people group said the same thing. Y'all ain't the same as us. White folks aren't the same as us. They don't get to, you need to go tell white people they need to stop caring for just themselves. You don't get to say that to the people who are still suffering and have been suffering for 465 years. That don't apply to us. So Black folk, the first thing we need to say when we hear that kind of madness is, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That does not apply to us. Somebody put hashtag uncheckable. That's right, Motown. They want us to keep not caring for ourselves. But a sign that we're caring for ourselves is also a sign that we're no longer slaves. Only slaves care about other folks' interests, other folks' property, other folks' livelihoods, other folks' well-being at the exclusion of their own. Don't you get us twisted with all the rest of y'all. See, the rules really for everybody else don't apply to us, Black family. Somebody say, why not? If you're asking that. Well, 465 years is the why not. No LGBTQ, no immigrant group, nobody has the 465 years of hell and torture and still remain unrepaired and uncompensated while you still have failed to cease and desist your oppression of us. Somebody talk Black to me. Keep listening. Thumbs up, like, and share, family.
Distance ourselves and start getting away from this idea that we should only care about ourselves. Because when we really do start to assert and believe and understand and see how our destinies are tied.
That's another trick that they say, family. That's another trick that they use. When they want to keep using you, they try to tell you, instead of using brute force for slavery, now they try to appeal to you by saying, our destinies are tied. Well, if you watch the Vicky show on a regular basis, you know I do believe that our destinies are tied, but they're not tied like that. If you watch the Vicky show, you know I believe that our destinies are tied like this. Because you mistreat Black folk, your life and your world is ending and will be a catastrophe. So your lives and destinies are attached to us in this way. So long as you refuse to do right by us, you will suffer. The world will suffer. Somebody talk Black to me. That's the only way Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that y'all's funny looking destinies are tied to ours. The reason the earth itself is working against y'all, and the reason why one of y'all's number one agenda points is climate change. It ain't what you think. The earth itself is revolting against you guys because we are the creators of it. And we are in what's called the fullness of time, where we're laboring to bring in a new world where we will be the head and not the tail. We will be above only and not beneath. We will rule based on freedom, justice, and divine equity. Somebody talk Black to me. And the equality I'm talking about ain't got nothing to do with being equal with no white people. You're not the standard anymore. That's the standard of white supremacy. We're trying to throw that in the trash. I want to be, like, I just want to have the same rights as white people. I don't. We're not even finna use the way you do life as a point of reference. We're throwing all of that in the trash. All that's about to be set on fire. Nobody sees y'all as nothing to beat anymore. The intelligent Black people, that is. The revolutionaries. We're not enthralled by you. We're not impressed. You think you're running around smelling like Chanel No. 5 and we say you stink. Funk yourself. You got stuff twisted. Just like a little baby. You know how a little baby be in diapers? Be stanky and funky as all get out the whole town. I want to laugh so bad. The whole town is on fire. It stank because the little baby boo-boo, right? But once the baby done let loose, and if it's not irritating them right away, they'll be giggling and laughing and stuff. And you sitting here giggling and laughing and enjoying your life, little one. And the whole county, all the counties, the surrounding counties and towns, it smells. But you don't realize it. You're giggling, kicking your feet. You still playing with your little rattling stuff. And we all about to die. Somebody talk black to me. That's white supremacy. You're the only one that doesn't know the impact of what's finna get ready to go down. And this is a divine thing, dear family. Thumbs up, family.
We kind of get away from this idea that only, people of color care about other people of color.
No, honey. See, that's another trick, black family. Did you hear what she just said? She said that that's not true. We need to get away from the fact that all people of color, if you're not a person of color, in so many words, you don't care about other people. Girl, shut up. First of all, we ain't got nothing to do with other people of color. We black. Y'all can be the other people of color category. How is it that white people get their own category? Ain't that something? It's white people and then everybody else is just thrown into now and some now. Somebody talk black to me.
Only white people care about other white people. And so
we look at your history to know y'all don't care nothing about us. You don't need, this is what I'm talking about, the Jane Elliott syndrome. Outsiders don't get to lecture us about the way things are. The only authorities on racism that know what they're talking about at every turn. We know what the ridges from the white supremacists' boot and stilettos look like, because we're the ones whose neck and face has been under them. We know about all of the ins and outs of how this beast works. So we don't need no kind of instructions. Somebody say uncheckable. This is what I'm talking about, these outsiders. See, y'all like folk to tell you what to do. You have been taught and trained and programmed to believe that everybody is smarter and better than you. Shout out to you, Curtis. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Yes, cut the cord. I'm trying to let you know just how intelligent, powerful, and special you are. We have no reason to be taking AOC's advice for nothing. We're not going to take your instructions and guidance on race relations. Again, what you can do, little girl, is sit down in the back of class. I'm not even officially letting you attend the class. You're not even getting grades. I'm just letting you dip in from time to time. As some grace. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family.
There are a lot.
Thumbs up, like and share. For those of you that are just coming in, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. I want you to know that I told you guys we were only printing a limited amount of my upcoming 2021 Angels Unleashed calendar. We're taking pre-orders now because remember, they're going to ship out in January. So don't buy it and then say, well, how come I didn't get it this month, Vicki? Because they're called pre-orders. You're getting them in advance and they're shipping out in January. But we ended up selling out of the limited amount that we had initially told you we were going to sell. The team now is making more available. So family, do not delay. Hurry up and get your Angels Unleashed 2021 calendar. It is going to be amazing. The thought that I wrote for each month and the corresponding scripture for that month, you're going to meditate on each one every single month, that one thought and that one scripture. And I can promise you, you won't recognize your life, obviously, after 2021. But even when you go from month to month, quarter to quarter, you're going to increase in extraordinary divine power. Get yours today at thevickicalendar.com. Thevickicalendar.com. And for all of you that have supported thus far, we thank you so very much. Now listen.
Systems that we have to dismantle, but also it does get into this interesting area of where we are as a country about identity, because like what does it mean to be?
Watch this. Do you all remember the question that the sister asked? The question was about a program of reparations, right? See, AOC was feeling some kind of way with that sister because the sister called out some of the Hispanics as being considering themselves as white Hispanics. See, AOC didn't like that. When the sister said that 70% of America is Caucasian and the numbers are accurate when you include white Hispanics. Shout out to you, Dennis, for your $50 gift. I bless it 1,000-fold. Thank you for supporting Black media. That's what ticked her off. Because, see, they don't want you to say out loud that a lot of the Hispanics, some of them consider themselves to be white Hispanics. See, because none of the way that AOC responded matches to our sister talking about the program of reparations, does it? Because her question was about the considerations, excuse me, for reparations. Listen again to the rest of this little clip.
How our destinies are tied. We kind of get away from this idea that only, people of color care about other people of color and only white people care about other white people and so on. There are a lot of systems that we have to dismantle, but also it does get into this interesting area of where we are as a country about identity, because like, what does it mean to be Black?
The fact that she said, what does it mean to be Black, means that she's playing dumb. She's pimping us now. Family, this is a game. They are setting themselves up right there. And the only reason why she's important is because she's a lawmaker, family. I would be giving her a different kind of work, like stay out of our business, if she wasn't one. But this lets you know what's in the minds of some of the white Hispanics that's in Congress. I'm not throwing everybody under the bus. If you're listening to me and you're Hispanic, you know that I love you. But you need to check your people. Now she's playing dumb. She's asking, excuse me, what's Black? What's Black slowness is that group of people that you go out there and say, we should all be saying Black Lives Matter. The lady need to turn the question on her and say, oh, okay, let me ask you, Congresswoman, what and who are you referring to? To whom are you referring when you say Black Lives Matter? Are you confused about that category and classification? I have some ideas, family, about how folks are going to try to come down later and say, because they got 5% Black or 5% this or 2% that, to try to get in and to leech and steal from us again. The same way the white $5 Indians did. The reason why there's a such thing as $5 Indians is because we know that when the treaties were made, as Dr. Claude reminded us of, they were for Black folks, the Aboriginal people, the true natives and Aboriginal people in America. There were provisions in there for us in those treaties. However, white folks tried to claim and become an Indian by paying $5. They're always going to find, same with affirmative action. Affirmative, the brainchild of affirmative action, the whole point and impetus of it was supposed to help Black people. We know white women disproportionately benefit from affirmative action, because when you go to start talking about these gender wars in women, now women are a minority group. Do you understand? So this is technology here. These are games, and they're already setting the stage to undermine us, because our demand and our cry for reparations is getting louder and louder and louder and louder. It's becoming more and more powerful. So the people that got here because of our black blood in the first place, are trying to figure out new ways that they can steal from us, abuse from us, leech from us, and undermine us. This is the type of language you need to use when people are doing this. Let's stop pussyfooting around and using cute little language, just to, oh, they trying to get something. No, you're a leech, you're a thief. Let's ask AOC what makes you different from any of the racist white Republicans that are refusing to pass substantive legislation that's going to help the average American versus just corporations and Wall Street and helping themselves. If you can spit off statistics that talk about how black folks are disproportionately disadvantaged in all of these different metrics of society and life, but you're not talking about the extraordinary measures to specifically target us economically, you are no hero, AOC. You're not a blessing. You're in the way. What I want you guys, family, to understand is just because somebody is talking about helping everybody does not make them an ally for black people. The reason it doesn't is because by mixing and amalgamating everybody and everything else, that has diluted the substantive tangibles that are ours by right. And it is why we have not seen any full success for the masses of black people, even after almost 500 years. I told you in the beginning of the show, I said I'm plugging up that hole. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, like and share.
Who is black and who isn't, especially as our country becomes more biracial and multi.
That don't count as the country becomes more biracial. That doesn't count as the country becomes more mixed up. We're talking about the lineage of the people that are the foundation of black Americans. Quit trying to muddy the waters. Do you all see how they're trying to make it great? And I've got some ideas. And I want to discuss this at another time of things that we're going to put in place. I believe that we should put in place to make sure that we don't have grifters and moochers and thieves and leeches coming, acting like the $5 Indian situation all over again. I have some ideas about combating that. Somebody talk black to me. But today, I'm just exposing it for now. And I'm getting you ready because this is what they're going to try to do even more. Keep listening.
Racial, same thing with being Latino, same thing. It brings up all these questions of like passing and, things like that. But I do think it is important that we have to have substantive conversations about race beyond like what is racist and what is not. And it's
girl, shut up. Again, we're not taking any guidance, any advice from new people who abandoned their countries, people who fled their nations because you couldn't level it up. You don't get to flee from your country for whatever the reason is. Nobody's dogging you out. You just don't get to flee and then come over here and dictate to us nothing. Because what we're going to ask you to do is to go back and try to implement those same principles and advice in the country you came from. That's our respectful request to your disrespect of us. And again, family, the only reason they're saying it is because they benefit off of black folks not demanding something for just ourselves. They benefit when we're advocating for every other people group other than ourselves. They know stuff has to change, and they are not looking forward to that. Too bad. I said it's too bad.
Someone says something racist, does that make them racist?
Listen to this fool.
Beyond like what is racist and what is not. And if someone says something racist, does that make them racist? Like we need to get away from talking. Well, not that we have to get away from talking about racism. It's important that we talk about racism.
You see how she just doing that? Making light of it? We need to get away from talking about racism. Well, not that we need to just get away from talking about racism, as if that's up for debate or option. Listen to what that funny looking self said.
Because we talk about racism so much.
What do you mean we talk about racism so much? Little girl, somebody better get this little girl. What does she mean we talk about racism too much? You know what? The only people talking about racism is black people. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, like and share. The only people that's talking about racism is black people, and this us telling you guys the need for the conversation. But let's stop talking about racism. How about it, AOC? We are trying to do exactly that by demanding that you give us reparations to address some of that. But you don't want to do that either. All right, I think I'm back. We lost quite a few people, but I'm back now. Thumbs up, family. I'm back. Thumbs up, like and share. Thumbs up. Thank those of you that hung on. It looks like it was buffering for a minute, but we're back now. All right, let me continue on and get finished with this brief war briefing. Yes, okay, everybody, y'all can see me now. It seems like hundreds of people left. That's all right. Okay, we're back. All right, clear your screens, family. Everybody try to clear your screen. Yes, we're back. All right, let's get on to it. Let's go back to it. That's okay. Thank you all for hanging out. Those of you that stayed, we trust that the other numbers will pick up later and the right people at the right time will hear our broadcast.
Area of where we are as a country about identity, because like, what does it mean to be black? Who is black and who isn't, especially as our country becomes more biracial and multiracial.
By her saying, as the country becomes more mixed and more biracial and all this, see, this is them trying to change the goalpost, family, so that they can get in on our reparations when the time comes. They're posturing for that right now because so many folk don't want to see us make it. So many folks don't want to see us do well. So many folks don't want to see black folk no longer in positions of servitude. Are y'all hearing me today? Now let's get back to the rest of this madness.
Same thing. It brings up all these questions of like passing and things like that. But I do think it is important that we have to have substantive conversations about race beyond like what is racist and what is not. And if someone says something racist, does that make them racist? Like we need to get away from talking. Well, not that we have to get away from talking about race.
Now you see how she had to correct herself? That's how she really feels, but she knew it wasn't going to look right when she said we need to get away from talking about racism. Even your so-called allies, your white Latinas that y'all sitting out there talking about or what? They're looking out for everybody and they're like Bernie. They love everybody. They're trying to help all the American people. Notice they really want you to shut up talking about racism. Because see, they want to be the center of attention. We can't just do something just for black people. Obama and Kamala Harris. Are y'all hearing me?
It's important that we talk about racism, but because we talk about racism so much, we actually aren't talking about race itself. And
stupid, we don't need to talk about race itself. See, I can't stand when people try to major on minors and minor on majors. I can't stand when people try to play dumb and be technically correct about stuff when it doesn't matter. You know what black is. If AOC was out there talking about Black Lives Matter, you know exactly who black people are and who we're referring to. Y'all gonna cut the check. And the check you're going to cut is going to be just for black people. This sister, by asking her about reparations, brings out the ugly in everybody. Same with Bernie Sanders. The moment he's asked about reparations, he gets hostile. The moment Obama is asked, the moment Mitch McConnell is asked, family, that's the test. Reparations is a litmus test for anybody that claims to be an ally for black people. When I exposed Jane Elliott and some of the other members of black media exposed her funny looking self, y'all was letting Jane Elliott, this white woman, go all over the world for decades and decades and decades. Black folks, including T.I., Killer Mike, Roland Martin's funny looking self, all y'all was sitting there hailing Jane Elliott because this white woman was out there talking about racism and calling out racist white people. See, some white folks don't mind talking about the true history of their savagery. They show who they really are when you ask them to do something about it. When you demand reparations and compensation, that's when you'll know. Because that's when Jane Elliott showed herself to be an enemy of black folk, is the moment we started saying, no, we need some reparations for black folks. She started to liken it to stuff that white folks would ask for. She made fun of it and mocked it and was hostile and became very angry and upset. I showed you the footage, did I not? That's the litmus test for anybody. They don't care about you talking about it. They'll admit all the horror that black folks experience. They'll talk all day. But I don't want you to forget that not too long ago, AOC said, what's black? And that we've talked about racism enough. Talked about racism so much as she tried to backtrack that statement that we're not talking about race. What in the hell do we need to be talking about quote unquote race for so that you can give a new definition to make sure black folks specifically don't get nothing? We're not letting y'all change the goalposts. Shout out to you, Pro Day Trader, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you for your kind words. Say, keep speaking truth, Queen. You know I will. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, like and share. Thumbs up, like and share, would you? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard, family. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. One more thing I want to bring to your attention. Quickly, because I don't want to be here all day. Thumbs up, like and share. I told you earlier that BET even did a decent job in calling her out when they did an article on this as well. Y'all see what the label of the headline? It says, who is black? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's erasure of blackness in America dismisses the fight for justice. Watch this. This was written in 2019. Like I said before, Demetria Iman. She says, whatever reparations could look like in the future, there is no question that the rightful recipients of said payback are black people. While the blackness identity is vast and millions of black people exist throughout the world with dark skin, who we are as Black people stands loud and proud despite centuries of attempted erasure. As reparations once again have become a popular political topic, more journalists are asking politicians their stance on this question of righting a wrong. Interviewed during the annual South by Southwest Festival, y'all know that popular event, right? That's where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was. She was asked by senior politics editor Brianna Gray. Now watch this. You heard her response because I played it for you twice. But the article says that continuing to propose the same questions about Latino identity, Ocasio-Cortez says, I think it's important that we have substantive conversations about race beyond what is racist and what is not. And if someone says something racist, does that make them a racist? They're quoting what you heard Ocasio-Cortez say. She goes on, never addressing the question about reparations. See, that's what I told you guys earlier, right? Because that's what it was about. The sister asked about what she called the project of reparations, right? Program of reparations. And Ocasio-Cortez was pissed off. And let me tell you, y'all think I know what I'm talking about. This Latina woman was mad that a Black woman said in a public space that a lot of them identify as white Hispanics and vote like that and vote their interests like they're white. Somebody talk Black to me. Never addressing the question, the article says, about reparation, Ocasio-Cortez managed to devolve Blackness in America as existing as slaves and 3/5 of a human being to encompassing an entire country of mixed races and ambiguity. Y'all heard it yourself, right? She goes on, I'm skipping. The obscurity of Blackness does not go without definition. Speaking specifically to the United States, a country whose politics are consumed by turmoil, Blackness still refers to people of African descent who were taken and transported from African countries and held as slaves on American soil. The article says so much more when it refers to James David's book about who is Black, One Nation's definition, and on and on and on. But I just wanted to highlight some of the points that they make in the article because this is very disturbing, but it's exposing the truth of what is. And so rather than get upset with me by talking about it, thinking that by me just having the discussion means it's divisive. No, baby, you need to take all of your anger out on AOC, the left's little hero, and check her and ask her, what's up? As I mentioned earlier, her little flippant response brings back to my mind another similar response that happened recently, right? The moment Black folks are getting credit for anything that we actually did, the moment Black folks are getting any kind of attention, and right now I'm specifically talking about the dynamic that's pulled out of Latina women. AOC was mad at that Black woman because she said out loud that a lot of Latinas, and Latinos identify as white. And AOC never talked about the reparations because she was ticked off at the woman for even calling it out. As the mother of civilization, I can know all day long the Black and African roots of the melanated people. But who gives a crap about that? When you are saying you are a white Latina, I'm gonna need somebody Black to make it make sense. Shout out to you, my eye. Said thank you for speaking truth. You're welcome. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, like, and share. Thank those of you that came back. We know we lost quite a few people a few minutes ago when we had that glitch and the buffering and so forth with our feed. But I'm glad those of you that came back that you stayed. Keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Don't forget to join my weekly mastermind course at clubvicky.com. clubvicky.com. You can join for $1 for the first 30 days. It's very reasonable. Thereafter, it'll change your life forever. It's a spiritual mastermind course that affects your day-to-day life. Don't forget also to get your 2021 angel calendar. Remember, I told you it was a limited edition and we were only printing limited amounts because we exceeded the initial amount that was we had intended to print. The staff is making more available for you. So don't delay, dear family. For those of you that wanted to get it, go now to thevickycalendar.com. Remember, it's pre-orders. So that means they ship out in January. Okay. So get yours today. Pre-orders. I love you back, Deborah. Now watch this. A similar dynamic played out with your girl politically once again. Because see, sometimes I know this personally. Family, black family. See, we've been at the bottom for so long. We've been stolen from, disrespected, raped in more ways than one, disenfranchised in more ways than one, lied to, lied about, defrauded, traumatized in so many ways. Thank you, Michael. Keep fighting. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much for your patience. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Please like and share. Watch this. We're so used to working and just trying to live and make it that it's hard for a lot of us to even imagine private secret conversations and schemes that other people are working on because they're sitting there jealous and envious of you and trying to figure out ways, new ways they're going to steal from you. Are you all hearing me? Because you're preoccupied with living. That's how haters, regular little run-of-the-mill rodent haters work. You're living your life. You're occupied with your assignment and what you're called to do. Not knowing that you've got haters that's watching your every move. Nitpicking, envious, jealous, hating, lying, and trying to spit on your name. Until something happens, until that jealous hater has a major outburst that demands your attention because you never paid them any attention. God, today I'm preaching to somebody. Shout out to you, Sean. Shalom, sister. Shalom, brother. DMV, I bless your gift 1,000-fold as well. Keep pushing through, sister, exposing their fraud. Yes, beloved. See, that's how it works. You don't even realize that you're living your life and you got folks that's jealous and envious and hating and trying to figure out new ways to scheme and undermine you. And because you never pay them any attention, because you shouldn't, they don't rise to the level of deserving your attention. And because you generally don't even accidentally think of them. They start fires. See, it's only when they start a fire and set a town or a city on fire that you even say, oh, is there a fire? God, today. You start hearing fire trucks and stuff. You see what I'm saying? To go put out the fire. So because you just happen to look and you was like, oh, whoa, it looks like down the road is some fire. Whoa, I hear the ambulance. Whoa, I hear the fireman. That's the only reason you was even for real taking it serious anyway, because you're hearing fire trucks and the ambulance is coming and stuff. Police is trying to block out roads and everything. Somebody talk black to me. And the fire that they starting, it's not destroying your house. God, today. The fire ain't even destroying your house. It's down the road. It's some blocks or some miles away. It's destroying their own house, stupid self. Somebody talk black to me. Because nobody's thinking about you. Why should I? Because I'm living my life. I don't have to be envious. jealous, hating, or competitive with anybody. It's actually room for everybody to manifest who God called them to be. Somebody talk black to me. I'm giving you double, triple words, multiple revelations in one. Thumbs up, family. So it's a shocker to us as a people because we like, I'm struggling. I'm just trying to get it together as a people. How is it that the white supremacist is still jealous and hating and envious? And then how is it that all these other people groups that have benefited off of us, that we've been a blessing to, who we've tried to collaborate and partner with, how is it that out of nowhere, y'all remember this? Out of nowhere, where did this come from?
Talk about what you just said about the women. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what black women have done, but Latina women were the real heroines here. Beating men in turnout in every state and voting for Biden-Harris at an average rate close to 3-1. And that wasn't surprising to us. You know, Latinos are the CEOs of the households. They make all the financial decisions and healthcare decisions and educational decisions. Many Latinas are small business owners, and they wanted a plan for recovery for themselves, not for Wall Street. And so Trump's policies were never aimed at the struggling Latina community. And, you know, if you look at...
But what did you say again,
you saw in Georgia, talk about what you just said about the women. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what black women have done, but Latina women were the real heroines here.
Don't forget she did that. Of course, you saw what the black women did in Georgia, but the Latina women are the real heroines here. When somebody says are the real heroines, they're telling you that the other people that you guys have been giving all this attention to and bragging about, they're the fake ones. It's a comparative word when you say the real. When you say something is the real, you're automatically implying something else is fake. And Eva Longoria rightly received a whole lot of backlash for disrespecting and hating black women. And she came out. First, when she responded, remember, she tried to lie and say she was only talking about the men. And then later she just apologized, saying that she made it worse for us and she shouldn't have said that. Her jealousy and envy slipped out because they don't want black women to receive credit for who we actually are. See, this is people's insecurities to try to diminish your own power. But I always put out this quote from time to time. Regularly put out this quote from time to time. And that is, ain't nobody finna stop being great because you insecure. Because you messed up. Nobody is getting ready to stop leveling up and getting better because you insecure. You want me to tamp it down. Don't do so much. Don't go so much. So instead of you trying to learn something or to properly ingratiate yourself through the law of honor, instead of hating, trying to discredit and slander. And some of you all act like you ain't even intelligent enough to know the difference when they do that. I'm just not even sure how it is. And those of you that support individuals and peoples and groups that do this kind of thing, it's funny because I noticed this. Some of my haters end up getting other haters. They start to collaborate. They magnetize. Y'all know, y'all love to talk about the law of attraction. That law of attraction works for them kind of people too, for that energy. But the reason why they're attracted to people that can't stand you, that lie on you, that slander, and do all manner of evil against you. Shout out to you, Otis. That's cute. The Latinka dictionary word. The reason they collaborate with the other side, notwithstanding all of the other issues that should keep you away from those, it's because they are secretly jealous and hating on you too. So just like the white supremacist Christian evangelical church, just like they overlooked all of Trump's open past and present sins and corruption, just like white women that Trump credibly was alleged to have raped, put all of that aside and voted for him and increased their percentages and how they voted for Trump in his last election. They put aside all of the demonic and diabolical things and other people that Trump has offended. The other devilish things that he did, they don't care about none of it when it comes down to that one thing, which is white supremacy. And that's what some of you all do. You connect with and you deal with people that you ain't got no business, but it's because you on the inside are jealous. And you use their lies and their slander of that individual to mask your own hate of them. And you're so easy to call out. I see you so clearly. It's so obvious, notwithstanding what your snagger-tooth self is saying. Your whole world, your past, your present, and your future is a catastrophe. And you're trying to impose that same, you're trying to project that same reality onto someone else. Family, if you are one of those individuals, you better change and you better stop it. Because ain't nobody getting ready to stop being great because of your own insecurities. You're trying to destroy, lie on, slander other people because you secretly got this thing going on in you. And watch this. And some of you got the nerve to even want that person to help you level up. You want them to stop what they're doing and the years and the struggle and the wisdom and the price that they paid for something. You want them to give that to you tomorrow at no cost. They give the middle finger to your years of experience. They give the middle finger to the price that you paid, the persecution that you endured, and just think you just give it to me. If that's you, check yourself. I said, if that's you, check yourself. Can't nobody ever be Vicky. I do me very well. Nobody's subscribership, numbers, likes, shares, or none of that can ever be the measure for who I am. I'm limitless in every way. And if you had some sense, you would see it about yourself. I wish these biscuits would. Thumbs up, like, and share. I got to get ready to go. But back to this. I don't know what to call it. This ain't no biscuit. I wish a taco would. I don't know. I got to come up with something for this.
Leading men in turnout in every state and voting for Biden-Harris at an average rate close to 3-1. And that wasn't surprising to us. The Latinos are the CEOs of the households. They make all the financial decisions and healthcare decisions and educational decisions. Many Latinas are small business owners and they wanted a plan for recovery.
Girl, if you don't sit down, what you mean, CEOs, dummy? Haven't you seen the movie The Help? We the CEOs of our houses and everybody else's houses too, slowness. We're the ones that built industries and businesses. We are a business. We've learned how to do what you could never do in 15, 30, 40, 50 lifetimes. You want us to think that you're special? Let's look at the statistics in America. What's the fastest growing business owner? Who's the fastest growing business owner in the United States? It's Black women. Don't get mad because I'm calling your antics out. It's time for you to look in the mirror and check yourself and stop. And it's also Black America telling white America, brown, red, yellow, or whatever, however else you want to classify yourself. Black folks are not going to stop leveling up and demanding what's good for us, because you're still trying to think of new ways to scheme and to leech and to steal and to take. We're not going to stop. No matter how angry you guys get, no matter how upset you are. Let me hurry. I told you guys earlier that I wanted to, I tweeted this earlier. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky, my last name first. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky. I shared this, I tweeted this out earlier today. I tweeted this out earlier today. Watch this. Now I'm looking. Okay. Earlier today, it was announced. I think I first got this out of the New York Times. While I'm pulling this up, family, keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thumbs up, like, and share. Thumbs up, like, and share. By the way, I might as well give you this news while I'm pulling up this article. Breaking news, this happened a little bit ago. President Trump pardoned 20 people, including 2 convicted in the Russia inquiry and 4 Black water guards convicted in connection with the killing in Iraqis. If you guys don't know who the Black water guards are, you better look into that. The Black water guards are not just international mercenary types that were sent to fight wars across the country. There's a connection with the Black water guards and the mistreatment of Black Americans. And they were mercenaries, not just across the waters, family, but also here in America. And if I got my facts right, because it's been so long ago, I keep and consume so much news over a long period of time, I believe it has something to do with those that were mistreated in New Orleans during Katrina. I believe that they were also used in some way, some of those particular mercenaries. That's what I'm calling them. Anyway, that was a headline of that breaking news that came in. I tweeted out earlier today. Let me just go ahead and get that back up now. Whoa, I just hit 10,000 followers on Twitter. Yay. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicky, family. Shout out to those of you that follow me there. Thank you so much for your support. I'm pulling it up right now. Here we go. Yes, it was from the New York Times. Y'all see this headline? This came out today. Alex Padilla will replace Kamala Harris in the Senate. Do y'all see who this is? There was another article that was out that showed that Blacks in California and the Latinos in California were vying or fighting over who should be the next senator. See, you know, Kamala was only one of the few Black senators ever in America, right? She was one of the few. The way people see it is if Black folks get any one thing, again, this is what we're talking about. They never want the playing field to be level because Kamala is your VP. They want you to forfeit you having another Black person to replace her. This is no disrespect to any other people group, but what is it that Black folks don't deserve? We deserve everything right now. And my question to you is, why don't you think the same? Thank you, those of you that are congratulating me on my Twitter 10,000. I literally just looked at it and just saw it just now. So don't forget to follow me there at Dillard Vicky on Twitter. Watch this. Family, they want you to be grateful for any new thing that you get. See, they don't want you to add to any quote unquote success. If you got any sense, you wouldn't consider that success, no way. But I'm just saying, any appearance of success, the idea that you get to have one little black female senator in the Senate, and you get to be a VP where she ain't black. Kamala just started the last 3 months saying she black. Somebody talk black to me. I love you back, Vima. It's not because black folks didn't want to believe this woman was black. When you come out there and start to emphasize all of your Indianness all these years and give the middle finger to us, and we give you all the receipts and the records of what she did to level up and how she gave the middle finger to her blackness, and only when it was politically expedient did she start pandering and alleging that she was truly black. And then other black folk in recent history coming out talking about why y'all trying to say she ain't black? That's colorism. That's this. No, fool. You haven't been paying attention to know what she has and hasn't been doing. You haven't paid attention. Again, when they're not even going to get somebody else black to replace an already rare black senator, they don't want the field to be leveled. Are y'all hearing me today? And everybody else who just got to America yesterday, people who just got to America yesterday is coming over here demanding rights of people who built the country. Before America was even America, we was on this side of the waters and have experienced the type of disrespect that no other group of people ever have and have not been compensated. And people are still leeching off of us today. Are y'all hearing me? This is the reason why we're taking a stronger stance against this madness. I just wanted you guys to know, if Biden chose to make every single person black in his administration, and again, I don't consider none of that to be anything tangible. All he needs to be talking about is reparations for all black people and not for some token positions for a handful of black folks. But for the average bone and biscuit that's mad that he wasn't getting enough black folk in high level positions and that he was ignoring their calls. And as you know, I broke the news, some of the news too, on black media to show and let you listen to Joe Biden disrespecting them in their meeting. If Biden made his whole administration black, what does anybody have to say about that? Like at all? What would anybody have to say if every single person? See, we've normalized it being acceptable that there is a majority of white folk, and to be excited if there's at least one or two black people and one or two other kind of people. See, that's you expecting. We've programmed ourselves to just expect and accept the majority to be white and other people. Kid says, you are awesome. Thank you. And I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Family, if everybody in Joe Biden's administration and all the people that he appointed was black, my question again, don't get it twisted for me, ain't none of that substantive. But again, I'm talking about for your average bone and biscuit and for those that's mad and everybody else talking about how all these other people groups ought to be able to get something equally. Until you can do equal 465 years of hell and oppression, what do you have to say about it? If the next president, if the next full-fledged administrations for the next 500 years was all black, it was a total blackout, what does anybody have to say about it? Seeing that we built the country. I'm trying to change your minds about what we accept and what we should expect. Nobody get to say nothing about nothing on no day. Everybody other than black, foundational black Americans, everybody else should just be saying thank you that I'm here. Repeat after me. If you are not a foundational black American, our time has come for us to receive justice, and we still haven't had it in 500 years. Everybody else If your only destiny was to be an essential worker, all you supposed to say is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a scripture that says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. In like manner, if for the next 500 years, everything was all black all day, what? So, okay. I'm letting y'all know what's happening right before your eyes. We're going to have another powerful show tomorrow, so make sure that you don't miss it. Again, we're sorry about the extended time of buffering and interference that we had here on YouTube. Thank those of you that hung out and waited for it to clear up. And thank those of you that came back after we lost a few people. I am so honored and privileged that you've joined the Vicky Show today. Again, I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. It's time for us to pay attention. And I want you all to question these people. I want you to tag them. I want you to call them out. And I want us to double down on our Black agenda. I want us to double down on building Black right now. While we're demanding of the government, at the same time, we're still building Black businesses, supporting Black businesses, building Black families, teaching our children. Our demand for reparations does not mean we're waiting for our oppressor to do all the other stuff for us. Slowness. If you know that you own a house and you own 10 acres of land that the house sits on, and the adjoining property that goes with it. I love you back, Sean. And on your property, you have a couple of cars and someone steals your car. And because you own the entire property, you own the house, you own the airspace above your head, and you own the cars that they stole, that's just like saying, well, because you got the house, so you ain't got the right to ask for the car. You don't have the right to recover the car that was stolen from you. You shouldn't demand that law enforcement track down the individual that stole your car. See, that's how stupid to me some of you all sound when you act like we still shouldn't be. Nobody's saying that you still shouldn't be building Black businesses, making your own neighborhood safe and decent places to live, doing for yourself. Yes, you do that. But fool, something was still stolen from you, and you should still make the demand. You don't get to tell me that just, well, you got the house, so don't ask for the cars that were stolen. In this case, it's in reverse. In this case, let's say the house was stolen, the property was stolen, and the only thing that you got was that car. You want me to be excited and happy about that little car that was in the garage and not demand that my house and property be returned. You got me messed up. Because I can still build a business and build a new reality does not mean I'm not going to keep my foot on the neck of the thief. Somebody talk Black to me. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Do not forget. Remember, I told you before, we only had a limited amount of the Angels Unleashed 2021 calendar. We sold out of those. Our partners and staff were so kind. They did an additional order to make it where more of you all can purchase them. Thank every one of you that have supported it so far. It's going to be amazing. The thought and the scripture that you're going to meditate on every month is beautiful. The calendar, I've seen what you, anyway, I'm saying too much. It's just going to be gorgeous. And there's going to be a divine presence associated with it. It's going to bless your life. They made more available. I told you it was a limited printing. Get yours today. Don't forget, though, that these are pre-orders. So that means that they ship out in January, but you need to get it today. TheVickyCalendar.com is where you can get it. TheVickyCalendar.com. Don't forget that we have a store where you can get all kinds of other apparel at ShopFNQ.com. That's ShopFNQ.com. And we have a business school where you can learn how to build a Black business from Black people at flynubianbusiness.com. Shout out to you. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you for using and sharing your gift. Oh, it's my privilege, beloved. Is it Yah? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you for your kind words. Family, you are so special and extraordinary. Our time has come. We're in our finest hour. I bow to you. I thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, live, flynubianqueentv.com. And thank all of you that are watching us on one of our affiliate networks and channels. It's our privilege.